Xi Jinping is in California, aka 中国 2.0. 代志大条. California Governor Gavin Newsom, who seemed to struggle during his entire term with sorting out San Francisco's homeless problem, has finally fixed it, and just in time for Xi Jinping's arrival. He threw away homeless people's tents,
oh my God,
put up cages, and the mysterious homeless encampment fire that caused Gavin to declare a state of emergency didn't seem to slow him down from making sure that San Francisco was in tip-top shape for the Chinese president's arrival. And when asked about his 快速清洁, this is what he had to say.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true.
What?
All of this for a guy he flew to China to hang out with once? Now, for those of you who don't know, Gavin Newsom is quickly becoming California's biggest villain. And here's a list of grievances from Californians. His immigration laws favor the immigrants. His state taxes are the highest in the entire country, as is the homelessness rate. He's moved to restrict parental rights, and against the people's will, he overruled the death penalty. But these are just a few from a long list. But seeing as I don't live in California, allow me to introduce you to someone who does. The very liberal and very progressive Anna Kasparian, co-host of The Young Turks with Cenk Uygur. Remember him? She currently lives in California and in her very own words, calls California a shit show. Let's find out why.
I'm still in California. I was born and raised in Los Angeles. I'm not gonna leave and just allow the most extreme elements of the left destroy the state, okay? So I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna make it better. I think LA and California in general still has a lot of potential, but there have been some policies implemented that have been disastrous. So Gavin Newsom and the current Democratic legislature in the state of California have engaged in this trend of decriminalizing everything and refusing to regulate things. So I'll give you some examples. One of the things that they decriminalize but refuse to regulate is prostitution, okay? I think that sex work should be legalized and regulated. Okay. What I mean by that is I don't want to see prostitutes walking around in thongs on the streets as kids are walking to school.
So last year, Gavin Newsom signed Bill 357, which decriminalized loitering, which for our Taiwanese audience, 我没有说夸张，在美国一直站在路边没干嘛就是非法的哦，你会被罚钱哦。
I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
So this bill basically made it so that sex workers can stand on the street and solicit without being thrown in jail. And as you're about to hear from Anna, the same has been done for drug use, after which she's going to go in hard on San Francisco.
But what the Democrats in California have done is we don't have the balls to actually legalize and regulate it, and we're lazy as hell. So we're just gonna do the super lazy thing of decriminalizing, which means we're gonna disempower our legal system, disempower law enforcement, and just allow sex workers to do what they're currently doing right now, which is they have no protection, they're not paying taxes, they're being controlled and sex trafficked by Johns, okay? It is the worst possible solution to the issue, okay? No one is safe, everyone's angry, and you see all sorts of terrible stuff happening right there in broad daylight in the middle of the street. Okay, they did the same thing with drugs, okay? We're gonna decriminalize. So what do you see in California? Bunch of people shooting up, okay, and smoking crack all over the place. I'm sorry, I'm not interested in seeing that. I don't think that we should be, dealing with that on the metro system. Why do taxpayers have to deal with that? Again, I am fine with legalizing these things as long as we regulate it, as long as we find the right balance to keep everyone safe, keep everyone as happy as they can be, so we can see these cities thrive, but these cities are not thriving. San Francisco is terrifying. It's hilarious to me because the business community there wants to put lipstick on a pig. They want to put out this $4 million ad campaign pretending as though everything in San Francisco is all hunky-dory. It's not hunky-dory. San Francisco is a nightmare. Yes, violent crime went down a little bit, but your car's going to get broken into, okay? You're going to get robbed.
Those are up, by the way. Both of those two categories are up.
And the smash and grabs, and you love the smash and grabs in LA because they decriminalized $100,000.
Keep going.
So we've covered this in a previous episode about 零元购, where the smash and grabs are out of control. In Taiwan, you have happy go, but in America, you have 零元购. It actually makes sense because happy go. That's racist! with nearly a 10% increase over the past 2 years.
There are certain issues that we've had for a long time. The drug war was a failure. And so going back to the drug war, I don't think is going to be effective. But you know what else isn't effective? Using taxpayer money, funneling it to nonprofits so they can literally buy crack pipes and hand them out at Skid Row.
And bleach
There's
pits.
video evidence of that.
How does that make
So
any sense?
anyone on the left who wants to come at me and pretend like this is just a right-wing scaremongering talking point, you're full of crap, and you should go online and you should watch the videos.
What Anna is talking about is an expose revealed earlier this summer that showed the organization Homeless Healthcare handing out meth pipes to the homeless in what they call...
It's extremely controversial. It's called the Harm Reduction Service.
These people are passing out crystal meth pipe to the homeless. Can I get a crystal pipe? Thank you.
And if you thought Anna was upset before, shit, she's only getting started, yo.
We spent $13 billion in Los Angeles alone last year to combat homelessness. You want to know where that money went? That money went to these trash nonprofits who have a bunch of executives making $500,000 a year. You're working for a nonprofit dealing with homelessness. That's my money. That's my parents' money, okay? That is the hardworking people of California paying incredibly high taxes that go to what? So yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And honestly, just experiencing what I've seen on the ground in California has made me question a lot about left-wing ideology.
So let me remind you, this is someone who is on the left. But since July, her questioning of her team's values has been very well documented, even to the point of rumors claiming she might be jumping ship from the Democratic Party.
How many times do we need to be disappointed by them? I'm done with them completely. The Democratic Party, every single one of them, that includes the squad, I don't care anymore. They have not delivered. They have not delivered. I'm done.
She may be done with the left, but she ain't done going in on her home state. Gavin Newsom is her next target, and she starts it off by explaining why she thinks he went to meet Xi Jinping in China in the first place.
He's in China because he already thinks of himself as the president. I have no doubt that eventually it'll come to a point where the Democratic Party has decided, no, this is the person you need to vote for. Anyone who speaks out against him is the enemy. His leadership in California is good reason to brush him off for the loser that he really is, okay? You're over there in China talking about fentanyl. How about you clean up your own house? How about you take a look at what's happening with the prosecutions or lack of prosecutions of the drug traffickers in your state? He can't be bothered to deal with the absolute degenerate garbage that comes out of his administration. Instead, he's going to China pretending as if everything he's been doing in California is great and he's a great leader who, has that road paved for him to be president. We're talking about a guy who has implemented policies that has increased crime in his state. And then he turns around and says, no, I'm going to sign off on this legislation that bans bulletproof vests in California. What?
By the way, the law she's talking about prevents convicted criminals from buying body armor, but law-abiding citizens still can. I'm sure you can see where the loophole in that one is.
Not a great plan.
You're gonna ban bulletproof vests without addressing the obvious violent crime that's happening in your state, that's on tape, that's all over the media. He just wants to pretend like what he has done to the state hasn't actually happened, but it's happened and people are angry, they're furious about it. The thing that frustrates me is that a lot of people vote based on vibes, right? So they look at him and they see a relatively young guy with good hair and he carries himself well and they think that that's a leader. But look at his leadership in the state and then please come talk to me about how successful he's been.
Wow. 原来只要长得帅就可以被选上嘞. Oh, I bet Californians are regretting that one hard now. But I'm sure that's not the real reason why they voted for him, right? Well, then why did people vote for this guy? Or anyone like him for that matter? And Anna is about to drop a real truth bomb.
California is notorious for voters who aren't really politically active, politically aware, and that has created a vacuum, right? And so that's created an opportunity for some of the more far left activist fringe of the party to basically take control of things. And I'm talking about the individuals who think that it makes sense to literally abolish prisons and police. And then they turn around, by the way, when I critique it or criticize it, it's like, no, but we don't actually mean abolish. No, you mean abolish. Newsom has closed 2 state prisons. During COVID, he released tens of thousands of people from these prisons, okay? Now, he lied and told everyone that the people he released were all nonviolent offenders, all nonviolent offenders. They're not all nonviolent offenders. I'll give you an example. I did deep research into this. I remember reading the story of one of the people who got let out during COVID, a woman who literally murdered her boyfriend and then drove hundreds of miles north to dump his body. She got released. So how are you going to come to me and tell me, no, the only people who got released are nonviolent offenders? And by the way, let's say we give him that argument, right? We believe him. They were all nonviolent. Okay, what did you do after that? So you released tens of thousands of people in one of the most expensive states in the country during the coronavirus pandemic where every business is shut down. There's no work. What happened to them? Where'd they go? Where did they go? They ended up on the streets, probably super desperate. You're on the streets, you're super desperate. What are you going to do?
So it is crystal clear. Anna Kasparian is fed up with California and its governor, but she is still willing to stay and fight. Is there still hope? And I wonder, for those of you who live or have lived in California, is it really that bad? Or is Anna just over-exaggerating? Share your stories and experience down below. And also, what do you think will come of Xi Jinping and Joe Biden's meeting? Remember to like, comment, subscribe, keep it civil, yo. And I will see you on the flip side. Peace.